Julian Ashford stood in the doorway of his late wife's dressing room, the velvet box open and empty in his hand. The sapphire pendant, the last gift he had ever given Celeste before the cancer took her, had vanished from the safe where it had lived untouched for 4 years. He summoned every staff member to the marble foyer. His voice, usually quiet with grief, cracked like a whip. Who took it? Silence. Then his gaze settled on the newest cleaner, the one who had started only 3 weeks ago. She was 26, slight, with tired hazel eyes and hands that trembled even when she was only holding a mop. Isabella Reyes. She cleaned the master wing. She had been alone in the dressing room yesterday. Julian pointed. You. Isabella's face drained of color. Sir, I swear. Security, he snapped. 2 men stepped forward. Call the police. She didn't run. She simply stood there, clutching the hem of her gray uniform, while the other staff looked away. When the officers arrived, Julian handed them the empty box like evidence in a murder trial. She's the only one who could have done it, he said coldly. Check her locker. Check her bag. Check everything. They did. Nothing. But Julian had already decided. He had her arrested for theft anyway. He told the detectives the necklace was worth $380,000. He told the judge she had a prior record, a lie. He wanted her punished for daring to touch what was left of Celeste. Isabella spent 37 days in county jail awaiting trial. No bail, Julian made sure of that. Her public defender begged her to take a plea. She refused. I didn't steal anything, she kept saying, voice small but steady. On the morning the trial was set to begin, Julian's housekeeper knocked on his study door, pale and shaking. Mr. Ashford, you need to see this. She led him to the attic above the garage, a place no one had entered since Celeste's things were boxed away years ago. There, on an old vanity covered in dust, sat a small girl, maybe 6 years old, with dark curls and Celeste's exact smile. She was holding the sapphire necklace like a toy. Julian's knees buckled. He had to grip the doorframe to stay upright. The little girl looked up. Mommy said to keep it safe until Daddy stopped being sad. Behind her, a cardboard box had been turned into a makeshift bedroom. Tiny blankets, crayons, a battered teddy bear. A half-eaten box of cereal. A drawing taped to the wall, stick figures labeled, me, Mommy, Daddy, under a blue sun. The housekeeper whispered, I heard noises weeks ago. I thought it was rats. I never came up. Julian couldn't speak. The child, his child, walked forward and placed the necklace in his shaking hand. I waited for you every day after school, she said in perfect, careful English. Mommy said you were working. Then Mommy got too sick to climb the stairs, so we stayed quiet so you could rest. When she fell asleep forever, I didn't want to make you cry more. So I kept hiding. I only came out when everyone was gone. Julian dropped to his knees right there on the dusty floorboards. The truth poured out of the child like a flood. Celeste had discovered she was pregnant 6 months before the diagnosis. She was terrified the treatment would harm the baby. She hid the pregnancy from everyone, even from Julian, wearing loose dresses, staying upstairs, telling him she simply needed quiet. When the cancer advanced, she refused chemo that might save her but could hurt the child. She gave birth alone in the upstairs bathroom with only the old midwife who had been sworn to secrecy. She named the girl Celeste Rose Ashford, Lila, for short, and begged the midwife to keep her existence hidden until Julian's heart was ready. The midwife died a year later. Lila, barely 2, was left with a note pinned to her blanket, wait for Daddy when he smiles again. So she waited. 4 years. Eating scraps the housekeeper unknowingly left, washing in the attic sink, teaching herself to read from Celeste's old books, living like a ghost in her own home because she didn't want to make her father sadder than he already was. Julian gathered his daughter into his arms and sobbed, the first tears he had allowed himself since the funeral. He carried her downstairs himself, past the stunned staff, and drove straight to the courthouse. He walked into the courtroom still holding Lila's hand, the sapphire necklace in his pocket, and interrupted the proceedings. I'm withdrawing all charges, he told the judge, voice raw. And I'm begging, on my knees if I have to, for this woman's immediate release. Isabella was brought in wearing orange, wrists cuffed, eyes hollow. When she saw Julian on his feet, tears already streaming, she thought he had come to gloat. Then she saw the little girl hiding behind his legs. Julian fell to his knees in front of her, right there in the courtroom. "I'm sorry," he choked out. "I accused you. I hurt you. I stole 37 days of your life because I was too broken to see the truth in front of me. Please, forgive me." Isabella looked from him to Lila, who peeked out and offered a shy, gap-toothed smile. Later, when the charges were dismissed and the courtroom emptied, Julian asked Isabella, begged her, to come back to the house. Not as a cleaner, as family. She became Lila's nanny, then tutor, then the older sister Lila never had. Julian paid for her night classes, her law degree, every dream she had buried under survival. 5 years later, on the day Isabella passed the bar exam, Julian and Lila waited outside the testing center with balloons and a single sapphire pendant on a new silver chain. "For the woman who gave me back my daughter," Julian said, fastening it around her neck with trembling fingers. "And gave me back my humanity." Isabella touched the stone, eyes shining. "Some things are never stolen," she whispered. "They're only waiting to be found." And Julian Ashford, the man who once accused an innocent woman of theft, spent the rest of his life making sure the world knew the real treasure had been hiding in his own attic all along, waiting for love to finally look up. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles. If it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us.